Hello, I'm Marlon Hargrave of Keep the Change Productions, and you are now watching The VAdio Show.
Boy, you're sure in a hurt. You think you can treat me like dirt and then get away with it, honey. Well, you got another thing coming now.
The VAdio Show is brought to you by We Care Transport for Kids and Platforms Shoe Boutique.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you back to the People Show, the VAdio Show. You already know how we do. We like to name our episodes. And this one is a part 2, because I felt like we wasn't able to touch everything that we were supposed to get to on this one. It's a pretty deep subject, ballin' versus bills. Now, we named it that because a lot of times people think swag can pay the bills, but cool, cute, and fashionable gets old real fast when you're broke. And I got a couple of people that we could talk to, kind of get some things in order for us. Brother Rico Hamilton and Chola Wilkins. How are you?
Wonderful.
Did I say your name right?
You did.
Okay,
You did.
awesome.
Thank you.
Well, let the people know what you do and, you know, any expertise that you have on this subject.
Okay. Again, my name is Rico Hamilton, and I'm currently a franchise owner for Liberty Tax.
Awesome.
Yes, in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and I work doing federal tax compliance at the corporate office.
Awesome. And yourself, madam?
Well, I'm Chola Wilkins. I do credit repair. Try to help people through the home buying process. Understanding their credit, teaching them how to build their credit. And maintain
Awesome.
it.
Awesome. Well, I'm gonna touch on a few things. We have a problem in this society, and I talked about this the last episode of the Ballin' versus Bills, so we're gonna touch on it a little bit for those that weren't, you know, available to hear the last one. We, in this society, we are just over-marketed to, I'd say. It's probably a better way I can say that, but we're marketed to so much, and this society is just a by and large society, and we don't really have the finances. It's like we got a Kool Aid budget, but a champagne taste. How do we deal with that? I mean, what would you say to someone who, you know, of course we all want to ball out and live the life, but most of us aren't in that position. So what would you all say to a person that's, you know, got that mindset?
For me personally, I think it's a self-inflicted lack of discipline that we have. We allow these major corporate entities to appeal to us directly and to pull from within our community. They promote direct products at us. Many of them, if it relates to fashion and things that you use on a day-to-day basis, the prices of them in relation to even other cultures, what they may spend their money on. It's actually, it doesn't match up.
Right.
You know, we're making less money demographically. We're spending more money than other demographics who actually have a higher net income per capita. So I think that in itself kind of reflects the fact that you know, we're it's self-inflicted ignorance.
Right.
We're allowing ourselves to be manipulated.
Motivated ignorance.
Yeah,
Really.
It's you know, instead of spending $80 on a polo, when I go on Macy's, it's, you know, it's $85 for a button-up polo. But most of the, and I don't want to come directly at people just because they wear polo, but at the same time, for you to spend that amount of money, if you haven't went to the State Corporation Commission and spent $100 to get a business incorporated, then now you can write off your expenses and learn how to manage your money and have fiscal discipline, then it's backwards.
Money placement is the biggest problem with us.
Exactly.
So what you say?
I think, like he said, we don't spend in our communities. Number one, we don't take that dollar and put it back in, but yet we scream how nobody comes here to help us.
Right.
And we're not frugal with our money.
Not at all.
We're very materialistic. We definitely got to make sure what we have on impresses somebody who cares nothing about us. So that's where I think our problem lies. And we don't teach our children the importance of finance.
We go and buy those same outfits and things and train them early that you need a pair of J's.
Exactly.
But don't check those report cards as hard as they do them shoes.
They're teaching to sit outside for all night for some Jordans, but you know.
That sends a silent message.
Exactly.
And you know, we had talked about something before we started about, you know, how the education when it comes to our culture, parents teaching the kids, you know, how to handle money, how to build wealth. I don't hear a lot of that going on. I mean, just could you elaborate on it?
I think one of the big problems is those from within our community don't make a big enough effort to either give back to the community or to market the fact that we are giving back to the community.
Right.
So what we have to do is find ways from within ourselves to support ourselves. We should treat our own community like a private entity. And in that sense, I mean, we are the public, but for instance, I graduated from Virginia Union University, which is an HBCU. It's a private school. It doesn't get money from the state.
Gotcha.
So if alumni doesn't give back to that university, then the university doesn't have the funds to keep it going for the next generation.
Gotcha.
What we have to realize is we need to treat our communities the same way. If we don't give back directly into our communities, we can't expect our communities to get this income.
Right.
Because even with federal taxation, everybody pays taxes based on your tax bracket. But there's legislation involved to determine what percentage of this money is allocated to which areas.
Right.
And when we look at it, the reality is even in Hampton Roads is disproportionate what goes to predominantly black communities and communities of other cultures.
Right.
So these things are not necessarily getting an equal share amongst who needs it.
Exactly.
Therefore, we're left out back.
And nobody's really blowing a whistle about it. It's like they don't care. You know what I mean? We should wonder where the money's going. Why our schools broke down, no ACs and things like that? Where's the money going? And why can't we come up with systems to put in place to keep our communities thriving, open up our own businesses rather than pitching off money to everybody else? They come in our neighborhood and straight take every block and sell you stuff they don't even use. You know what I mean? So it's a rough issue. We're going to get into another subject because I don't want to harp on them because I harped on y'all last time, but you got to get it together. All right? But I think the next thing I want to talk about, man, is the fact that, you know, it's rough out here. Someone said last week to me that the middle class was becoming extinct. They thought that it was extinct, and I like to think I'm, you know, somewhere in there. But it's a struggle to stay here, you know what I mean, with being taxed, with food going up, gas going up, everything going up, but our wages, it's hard to keep up. So what would you all say to that person that's in that bind? They got mouths to feed, they got cars to gas up, they got electricity to keep on, and some people even trying to chase that dream of getting a business and things like that, but they can't come up with the capital.
There's a lot of ways you can cut corners. You know, we usually go after things that we see everybody else have.
Right.
You know, like for instance, Netflix costs $11 a month.
It does.
As opposed to DirecTV or Verizon that costs $100, and Netflix has everything that Verizon and DirecTV offers.
Netflix.
But no one really, you know, understands that. They'd rather go out here and get Verizon and then pay $100-some as opposed to paying $11 where you could save yourself money.
Right.
I think that like during tax season we don't take our money and put it back into ourselves.
Right.
We don't pay things up so that the money we make during those 3 months where we didn't have to pay rent or we didn't have to pay a car payment, we don't do things like that.
Right.
So I think saving and where we spend our money, because unless you're willing to go out there and get a new job and reinvent who you are financially, you're going to have to figure out a way to deal with your situation currently.
Right.
So you're going to have to cut corners wherever it is, if it means eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches or, you know, making a trip, you know, all that
some
one.
changes.
Yeah, make some changes. You have to make changes unless you're going to make changes in your career.
Gotcha.
I think on a larger scale, we need to take the concept that knowledge is power. We need to take the power back in our community. So with that being said, it's a responsibility of those of us who have obtained knowledge, formal knowledge, able to provide professional services, to find ways to reach people directly. It's harder to come at each individual person and say, well, you shouldn't buy J's, you should buy, you know, some Sperry's or buy something that we're trying to reach millions of people coming at them directly, and it's not as effective. So what we need to do is build a conglomerate of us powerful young individuals, and not just young individuals, even our elders,
Right.
come together, provide community service initiatives that allow us to form our own market base,
Right.
allow us to form our own capital building machine that we can take money from within our community and give it right back to that same community. That's the
Yes.
only way we can for sure determine that we're going to get the capital that we're supposed to get. And without us putting our heads together and developing these type of initiatives and developing these type of corporate machines and corporate entities, it's almost impossible. It's like we're asking everybody to just get on page and do right.
Right.
It's not going to work that way. We
You're
have
right.
to take the power and put these people in a position where they have no other choice but to walk this path we're giving you, because we're providing you with the services. So when you are struggling with your light bills, we have an entity you can come to that will provide for you and help you out without using it as a marketing campaign or using you as some type of
Right.
puppet to show you off so that I can make more money.
Right.
We need to make them genuine initiatives, and once we create those type of initiatives, I mean, that's something that can work on a national, international scale.
Right. Catch on, become contagious.
We have to find out how to do it before it's stopped by
Right.
processes that are already in place.
Sounds good. Well, y'all, I hope y'all learning something. I'm gonna take y'all to a commercial break, but I want you to save money, but don't turn off the TV. Keep your channel right there. The VAdio Show will be back. A message from one of our proud sponsors.
We Care Transport for Kids offers parents a safe, community-trusted, and reliable children's transportation service. We Care transports kids to and from school and on to other after-school activities such as aftercare, tutoring lessons, sports, and other enrichment programs. We also have wheelchair vans for transporting children with special needs. So if you're in need of a reliable and affordable door-to-door service, give us a call. We Care is not just a name, it's what we do. A message from one of our proud sponsors.
Your shoe experience awaits. Platform Shoe Boutique and the Gentleman's Closet is your place for quality, high fashion, and trendy shoes. Located at 9622 Warwick Boulevard in the Hilton Shopping Center in Newport News. Check us out at platformsboutique.net. Platforms is your holiday VIP spot, specializing in VIP parties and private showings. We closed the boutique down just for you. Like us on Facebook and Instagram. Follow us on Twitter. Shop online at our online store, platformsboutique.net.
A message from one of our proud sponsors.
All right, everybody, back to your favorite show, the VAdio Show, and we talking Ballin versus Bills. Now, I'm gonna talk to y'all about, because we talked the last segment and we was talking about irresponsibility in the community with our finances and things like that, us not teaching our children in the community. But now I want to talk about those people that are, life happens. You know what I mean? You got your checks coming in, everything good, everybody's doing fine. We went on a vacation, we eating good, then all of a sudden the roof cave in, the car break down. It's time for I'm in a divorce, or something happens in life that tears things apart financially. And it's sometimes hard to bounce back. These aren't people that were irresponsible. These aren't people that were in bad situations. They handled things properly. They did things like they were supposed to. But life just dealt them a bad one. What do you say to that person? What do they have to do to make that bounce back? Or is there anything?
Well, as far as the bounce back, all those things you mentioned, I've probably been through myself, so
Me too.
I definitely know the bounce back part.
Mhm.
But just, I think what we have to start doing is preparing ourselves, like you were saying, as far as something breaking down or roof caving in, you know, credit is very important, and we don't know that until we try to go out here and get some.
Yeah.
And we can't, you know. And I have so many people who are trying to become homeowners, and I look at their credit, and I'm
No
like,
haps.
they're like, well, I want to be, and I'm like, no, well, you can't, because what if that roof cave in? What if that water heater breaks?
True.
You're going to be responsible, and you're going to need that credit to be able to go and get that, because you may not have the discretionary income.
Right.
I think what a lot of our people don't understand is that these people that are rich, they aren't rich by cash value. They're rich by name, by their word, by their investments. It's not necessarily cash. But people don't understand the value in their name and how their name in itself can save them out of so many different situations if they're responsible with their credit. So I think being prepared before we get to those type of situations.
Gotcha.
Having a plan B, a plan C, to be able to deal with those.
Me and the missus came up with an emergency fund for those type of things, you know. So we do have to protect ourselves. You know, you can't just wait for something to happen. You got to count on things happening and be prepared. That's a great point. What you say about that, brother?
My number one, we can address it individually, but I still think it takes that 5%, that those people who have made it out of that community, to make sure that we establish a foundation of a place that can help these people who in certain situations can't help themselves. Like, sometimes there is nothing you can say to them. Sometimes they're flat out back, and there's nothing they can do. It's people that get evicted and end up homeless all the time. What can you say to that person? They don't have it. They don't have the resources. They don't have the network. They don't have it. So you can just bypass that person, or you can, as an elite from your community, make sure you have done your part to establish a foundation that helps specifically those people. But then for the individuals themselves, I think what's important, like you said, you've been through things. You've had your own situation in your life. You've had your own situation. I know me personally, I found myself after going to university for 3 years, pretty much dropping out, trying to rent studios, start my own businesses. I was working at the shipyard, making $9 an hour. The same person, and I was the same one to be in the club. And you might see me with the polo on, and the J's on, but I was working at the shipyard. And what I did was I had to believe in myself. I had to pull myself up by my own bootstraps and make it happen. I had to put myself back through school, 44 credits in 1 year. The truth is, during that time period, outside of having people who helped me and kind of, you know, using society to lean on, I was pretty much living out of U-Haul. Because I have kids here in Norfolk and I'm in Richmond. I have bills here. I have things. Me being able to go back to school, I couldn't just drop everything. That wouldn't have been responsible. So it left me in a position like, I'm going to better myself, but now it's going to require sacrifice. So the individuals, we have to learn how to sacrifice. We have to help ourselves. We have to give ourselves the best opportunity to better our own situation. And you never know what can happen. You never know when you're going to meet the CEO of a $1 billion company. He's going to look at you and go, you know what? That's amazing. Just you as a person. You know, not giving you the pity, but giving you the power. Like, I really like you. I really believe in you. Here's $120,000. Go start this operation. I know you can do it. You know, we have to be prepared when that comes.
So, you are correct. And a lot of times people got to realize, you know, ambition gets you to success. That's the vehicle you hop in, but persistence is really what you arrive in. You know what I mean? So, you know, I guess the saying is, ambition is the road to success, but persistence is the vehicle you arrive in. You have to be persistent. You can't let those hard times beat you down, because life ain't sunshine and rainbows. Things are going to happen. So either be prepared, or if you end up not being prepared, you better be willing to fight your way back up out of that hole. Otherwise, you're going to stay there. And you need those people that's behind you to motivate you to get yourself up and get up. If we don't have those systems in place, you need to have a support system that'll motivate you to get up, help you find some extra jobs and things like that. Sometimes, a lot of times, you got to do more to get more. You know, and that's another thing I wanted to talk about. A lot of people, you know, one job don't seem like it's cutting it these days. You know what I mean? If you want something. But you know, one job will keep you in that check to check situation, right? But if you really want to live, you need to do more to get more. I call it, I think I said it last time, I call it Fifth Avenue. You know, you need, it's not where I stay, it's how I live. I get 5 avenues of money coming in to where I can live okay.
Exactly.
But you know, some people ain't built to be able to handle all that. So, but the next thing, I'm rambling, but the next thing we'll talk about is, you know, for those people who have made it, no bills, things are going great, you know, how do you build wealth? How do you, what would you say to those people that are trying to build wealth?
I think first of all, we have to teach how to use these financial tools. It's not about just saying take our money and invest into this portfolio, invest into this CD or this mutual fund. We can let money sit there. It's growing, but it's growing at the rate that's provided for us. It's not really, we're not really utilizing and maximizing our potential. So for instance, quickly, it's a way to build wealth just as far as owning your own business. And people need to take advantage of that. You know, federal tax-wise, there's a standard deduction for business use of your vehicle. It's pretty much 55 cents per mile. So let's think about this for a second. If you running a business and you purchase that car in the business name, you're using it as a business asset, it costs pretty much $4 a gallon for premium gas. Let's say each gallon gets you 20 miles per gallon.
Right.
If you go and buy 5 gallons, you spent $20. You get 100 miles off that, right? You spent $20 to get 100 miles. For you having a business and using that car for business purposes, you're going to get a deduction of $55 for that 100 miles, which means you in essence are not taxed on an extra $35 outside of the 20. So you're actually getting money that's not taxed.
Gotcha.
So now you're making money, you're not taxing. It's not free money, but it's money that stays in your pocket. It's about learning the system and learning how to utilize it. Just tools like that. Think about how much that could save you if you started in January and recorded everything into December. That tax-wise, and during tax season, that could be the difference in $1,000, $2,000.
That's true. That's true.
And there's many other avenues other than just using the vehicle. So it's that knowledge.
We got to rise above the game or get played, basically. Because people are just waiting for you not to know.
You know, but it's a lot of business owners who have made it, who are trying to capitalize off of the hardships.
Yes, definitely.
Of us. Me and one of my lender friends were talking about how our people we're ignorant to a lot of things, and like with credit, people willing to give me their socials and everything with the drop of a dime without seeing my face, without knowing anything about me.
Yeah.
And he was saying that he could get them to sign mortgages without them even knowing what's really detailed into it, because they're so ready to get it done, and they're not really doing their due diligence.
It's a microwave society.
Exactly.
Got us like that.
But there's also business owners who know that. And I provide my services for free. The reason I got into credit repair was I got taken by somebody in the credit repair business before, and it led me on my path to where I eventually got to. But it's a lot of scammers out there. It's a lot of people that take your money up front and they tell you they're going to do all this stuff for you, and then 2-3 months later you still haven't seen anything.
But your money's gone.
And I definitely want people to understand credit repair is great. It's a great tool to use. It's just that if you don't have the right guidance with it, and if you don't have the right people who are doing it, it's not going to work, and you're going to have a bad taste in your mouth with it. But it's a lot of, if anybody asks you to get your money up front, that's illegal. They're not supposed to be asking for the money up front. They're supposed to do work first.
Gotcha.
If anybody says that they can make guarantees as far as what they can do, I can guarantee 30 removals in 2-3 months. That's a way to look at a scam. But I just tell people to do their due diligence. I'm free, so there's no reason why. I'm teaching you how to fish. I'm not feeding you. I'm actually walking you through the process, because that makes it easier for me for you to understand your own credit report, so you'll know how to read it. But it's a lot of people who want that, who want that knowledge. It's just that they don't have anywhere to go to get it.
Right.
And so, but it's a lot of people who take advantage of the fact that it's people who are trying to get their credit straight, who want to know how to get it. And they're saying, hey, anybody can go out here and fix credit. Right. And that's what I want people to understand. Anybody can go get a certificate.
You can do it yourself. You don't have to spend $11,000 to get into the system. And I know about that. I can't lie to you. In my past, I've spent $11,000.
Wow.
To build. money lost.
Wow.
Yeah, but I'm still sitting
Yes.
here, and I've got on a bow tie, so everything's all right. All right.
Smooth too.
Thank you, brother. I knew you was coming, so I was trying to keep up. But speaking of that, I want people to be able to get in touch with you guys. So let the people know, you know, if you got a website, phone number, location, let them know. Starting with you.
Okay. For the general public, as well as raising community initiatives, I really want everyone to be aware of, when you see me, I'm not promoting necessarily an income tax business. I'm not promoting an accounting service, something I can do. I'm really trying to get deep in the roots of the community to provide these initiatives to help ourselves. I want to be transparent and make sure that with this accounting background, everyone in the public can see where this money goes, how this money is generated, how it's spent, and even how much of that money comes back to me, which I don't really plan on any of it coming back to me, because I already have a skill set that allows me to generate wealth off of what I do outside of asking the community to come together. So I think that's important. You can reach me at 757-705-7885, and feel free to email me at ricojhamilton@gmail.com.
All right. Well, you can reach me at 757-334-2856. My company is Teneyes Incorporated. I'm on Facebook, Chola Wilkins, Teneyes CEO, as well as Instagram. You can find me up there. I'm the only Chola, CHOLA, in Hampton Roads, probably on the East Coast. But I do provide free services. I would love to sit down and see what you have going on with your credit situation. I don't just fix credit. I teach about trade lines, debt to income ratio. I teach credit help. So once you come with me with the bad credit, I get you through the process all the way to becoming a homeowner. That's my goal. And we will be starting a Reach Them Before They Reach Out program, where we're trying to get credit repair, credit basic knowledge into the high schools, into the college freshmen, to educate them before they actually go out here and mess up their credit. We want to get them and teach them how to build it. So be looking out for that. I look forward to helping the community. You're going to see my face a lot. Hopefully me, Rico, and Trevor can get together.
We'll have to link up. It's a blessing to have y'all here and to have people see people like you all conducting business in a positive way and uplifting the community. This has been the VAdio Show. This has also been Ballin versus Bills. Y'all stop that premature balling and go through the proper channels, all right? See y'all next Thursday.
Bye.
Wardrobe provided by Upscale Men's Fashion.
What happens to a dream deferred?
When a cat take your money, he don't leave no roadmap.
Biology is just great. And yesterday I dissected something that looked just like you.
Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun?
Do you know what this money means to me? Do you know what this money can do for us?
Negroes invade Clybourne Park.
Or does it fester like a sword, then run?
Money is life, mama.
Looks like the youngest is moving on up a little higher. Bless God.
For a raisin in the sun, coming to Willett Hall in Portsmouth, Virginia for 2 spectacular shows. March 14th at 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. Doors will open at 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. Show times 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. March 14th, 2015. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster, Ticketmaster.com, Willett Hall box office, Willett.